And when that little voice inside your head starts thinking about what you have to do, stop your thinking, reframe that internal voice and turn it into a get to do. I'm so grateful to be able to share with you this morning and to just be a part of setting up the day for what I know will be another great day of learning. The past 18 months has been a time of change and pivots, and it's called on all of us to really dig down deep and find out if we really did have that grit and resilience that we hoped that we had been developing. Was reading a lot of Glennon Doyle this year, and she talks about being able to do hard things. And for many of us, it proved that we did have what it takes to do hard things, the right things, to support others and to be of service to our students and our families and our colleagues. Prior to all of this, I had been doing a lot of reading about joy, and it's easy to do that. You can see the shelves are lined with books in the bookstores and full of books about happiness and ways to create and maintain joy. So I must not be the only one interested in this. I always saw myself as a joyful person, but it's also something I wanted to make sure I was supporting and cultivating in others. We all have ways in which we access joy. And for some of you, that comes from your faith, your family, your spouse, your children, your partners, your job. And for others, it might be travel, exploring the globe, experiencing other cultures, etc. And that's something we haven't had a chance to do much of lately. And if you have a suitcase heart like I do, that's been disappointing. And there have been many disappointments along the way, not seeing family, worrying about friends and family overseas, not connecting with people in ways that we're used to, and just that overall feeling that the world's gone a little mad. I read an article on Twitter recently, and they referred to this feeling that we've been carrying around as languishing. And that really resonated for me. So more than ever, we have had to take on the charge of being mindful of others' well-being to ensure that they've experienced well-being and that they have had success with it and that they could express it. And that ultimately is the definition of joy. Alfie Kohn writes, and he wonders about why schools are not places of joy. He says that they should be. They should be creative, full of music and creativity and expression, and children should see adults experiencing joy. Dane Shersky, who is a Canadian tech educator and workshop leader, he says that adults need to have fun so children will want to grow up. And I love that because we know that kids really learn from people that they like. Mark Twain says that in order to get the full value of joy, you have to have somebody to divide it with. And that resonated for me because I always want to make sure that I'm sharing my joy. And even when things are challenging, to not lose that in the day and somehow find ways to access joy. And sometimes we know as admin, we're busy. But it's important to find ways to model joy. And I don't mean big grand gestures, just small ways. Someone told me once that if the only prayer you ever said was thank you, that it would be enough. A thank you and some kindness really goes a long way. And doing for others brings joy to people. And we know what it feels like to be on the other side of that. Sometimes as admin, you don't always get the thank you. So it's important to really give them. But today I thought I would share with you one little nugget that I learned and helped me a lot this year to help me access joy. I was listening late night to a podcast by Michael Black, and he said that maybe life is just hard. But he said that's no way to live. So he's tried something as a way to access joy. He's tried to turn all of his have-tos into get-tos. So where you might feel burdened by the daily tasks and commitments of life, the have-tos, it's possible for you to flick that mental switch and turn them into get-tos. The choice really, though, is yours. I have to write that report can turn into, no, I get to share with the parent community all the good things happening in the school. I have to have that difficult meeting with that family or teacher. No, I get to try to turn that situation around. I have to pick up the groceries or I have to shovel the walk. I'm going to be saying that one soon. No, I get to because I have the physical health and the capacity to do that for myself and to be independent. So it seems like kind of a small shift, but I can't tell you what a difference it's made for me. My dad is a former principal, and now he's in his late 80s. And I was sharing this little nugget with him. And he said, okay, let me try. I get to have a colonoscopy next week. And I thought, okay, I understand. Some things are harder than others. So I don't mean to be too trite or Pollyanna and not recognize that sometimes things are just hard. But that little one word choice represents a real major mind shift for me that somehow transformed me from um, moving towards being a pessimist, just being this proactive optimist, and a reminder to really view my life from that solid foundation of gratitude, going back to the thank you. So there's nothing but upside to practicing gratitude, but I want you to see for yourself, because I think your body and your mind and your spirit will thank you. So how about taking my challenge for the next 3 days of PTC and try to retrain your brain? And when that little voice inside your head starts thinking about what you have to do, stop your thinking, reframe that internal voice and turn it into a get to do. Switch your thinking. And thanks again for letting me share.